Omega Game Framework has a unique widget type called a menu, which acts as both a canvas for other widgets as well as a game state. To create a new menu, let's just search for the menu class in our blueprints. Everything is already blank here, so let's go ahead and add an overlay. Going to the graph, you'll see a number of things. First of all, overriding the default construct and destruct scripts are menu opened and menu closed, which give you a little bit more to work with. Let's go ahead and make this a pause menu. First, we'll add a blur background. And next up, we'll give it some options. For now, look up data lister. I'll explain more what data lists are in a separate video, but for now, just understand they're effectively a list of buttons. Now, let's go ahead and make an animation for when the menu is opened and closed. By default, the close animation will simply reverse whatever animation you give it, which will allow you to use the same animation for both opening and closing. We can also add unique sounds to when the menu is opened or closed. You can use the close menu function to close out the menu while also giving it a few additional bits of information. Menus by default have Omega's widget input interface already built in, which allows you to, as you'd assume, have input right on the interface. In this instance, we're going to make it so that when we run the cancel input, it's going to close the menu. An important part to doing input on widgets is knowing what widgets specifically we're controlling at the moment. To demonstrate that, let's get the Omega player subsystem. The control widget is the widget we're currently sending inputs to. And you can send those inputs also from the Omega subsystem. Typically, these should be set up in a player controller. And in this case, by using the Omega demo game mode, we already have all of those inputs set up. Whenever a menu is opened, it'll automatically be set as the control widget. But if you ever want to clear that control or set it back after being set to something else, you can use the clear control widget and set control to this widget macros. We'll also want to make sure that our mouse is available to use during this menu state. To do that, let's set up a custom Omega input. Omega comes with a few default inputs, one of them being interface, which will give you access to the interface inputs as well as showing the mouse. Now that we have this set up, let's try our menu out. Let's look up Open Menu. This is an asynchronous task that, like I said before, lets you treat the menu as a game state, giving you easy control over what happens when it is opened and closed. And there you have it. The last thing of note is that menus are singletons, so you can never have more than one menu of the same class open at any time.